Hi there. Welcome to 15 Minutes of Consulting Best Practices. I'm David A. Fields. I'm solo. This week, Maria Isabel was a little bit under the weather. And so I will be answering your questions all by my lonesome. And I am looking forward to it. So if you're here live, please let me know you're here. Post whatever questions you have in the chat, which to me is down here. Actually, let me make sure. Yep, I can see comments. In the meantime, I will address questions that you all have submitted in advance via email or by calling us and chatting with us. So let's go with that because that's what we do here. Q&A. Deidre, what do we have? What's the first question? All right. Matt says, a couple of clients have called us this week to say that they have $24 to spend in a rush. Oh, I love that. Phenomenal problem to have. I agree. The challenge is that what they want to do with the money does not fit the amount they have. I'm assuming that means they want to do more than they have money for. How do we best address this? Okay, got it. Hi, John. Happy Monday to you also. All right, so Matt has this challenge. Folks want to spend money. I love that. They want to get dollars out of the budget, which, by the way, anytime you're on a business development call right now, you should be asking your prospects whether they want to get something done right away so that they can get money out of the budget of 2024 or not, because it's a legit concern. It's Monday midday. I've already had 3 conversations like that. And now in each case, they've said, no, we're okay. But it's worth the question. All right. So Matt's clients do have money. They want to get out of the budget, but the money they have doesn't match the scope of work. Fortunately, and hi, John. I'll answer your question in a moment. Fortunately, we have a mechanism that is perfectly designed for this situation. And it's a mechanism that most of you, I think, use already, or if you don't, you will. And that's including alternatives in your proposals. So because you have alternatives, you can give them an alternative that allows for the amount of money that they have right now. That says what we can do is, let's say what they want is would take $200,000, but they only have $100,000. You say, we'll build you a $100,000 project because that's what you have right now. And that's alternative number one. It does not get you all the way to bright. It does not accomplish everything you want to, but it does get us a long way there, and it meets your budget. Alternative number two, however, we can do is the full $200,000 project. And part of it will be year one, use your $24 for that. Part of it will be in 2025. And then you also give an alternative 3, which would be what they probably should ask, but they didn't know to ask. And maybe that's your 250 or 300 or 350 project, where you say, and here's the best way at it. So you give them alternatives that allow them to split fees across years. It's the same mechanism you already use, using alternatives, and it's just giving them some flexibility. So that is one way at it. And of course, ask them whether they can split across years. Most folks can. And most buyers of consulting can take a project and split it and pay some this year, pay some next year. So that's my suggestion on that one. All right. And let me know if that makes sense, or if you have follow-up questions on that, or you disagree or have a different suggestion. All right. John, it's good to see you. How long should I wait to reach out to a client who is sitting on a contact and not responding? I recognize I should have set a time to connect, but didn't. John, clarify your question for me. Oh, sitting on a contract. Sorry. So you submitted a proposal. As you recognize, you did not set up a time in advance to close, to discuss the proposal. And now they're not responding. So lesson learned, right? For all of us. Anytime you send out a proposal before you have sent it out, the date to discuss the proposal must be on the calendar, the date and time. Like the appointment must be set, or else don't send it out. Um, However, you're in this situation now. You sent out the proposal. Um, if they're not responding, we have a whole sequence around ghosting, because it sounds like you may be getting ghosted. If you go onto the website and look up ghost or ghosting or something, you'll see our sequence. Um, and we've actually added to it a little bit since then, but it will tell you how to follow up. How long you wait depends on what the expectations were around timing. I mean, if they have a project that was supposed to start January 1st, and as we speak today, it's January 16th, you can follow up a few times in the next couple of weeks to say, hey, I know you were interested in getting this thing up and running. How do we shake this loose? And then you can finish with the so-called magic email of have you given up on the idea of moving forward? So John, does that answer your question? Let me know, yes or no. If I didn't, I'll give it another shot. Just clarify if I've missed something. And the rest of you, if you have questions, let me know. All right, Deidre, we must have something else in your magic bag. We do. Deidre's endless bag of questions. Okay, we had a conversation with a prospect, and somehow the conversation was a bit stagnant. I didn't do a good job learning her needs, wants, and priorities. Okay. Instead, she kept asking about our general offering, and we agreed to send our offering and outline the potential buckets where we could work together with fees. Oh my gosh. Then she balked at the fees. Total miss. Yeah. For next time, how do we redirect the conversation? From James. Okay. Wow. Yeah, total miss. What I'm really liking today is people are going, "Oh, I made the mistake," and you're recognizing the mistake. So that is excellent. Okay, we see this all the time. Actually, there is a tendency to rush through the proposal process, to skip the context portion, and that is a mistake. And it will get you often into, for instance, John, your situation where you get ghosted. I don't know whether you rush the process or not. However, when we rush the process, we're more likely to get ghosted. And so in this situation, it sounds like you're having some conversation. They were like, yeah, but just send a proposal. Just tell us what you would do. And the way you handle that is you basically insist on a context discussion, because otherwise you're not staying in inquiry mode, and you cannot legitimately give a prospect a good proposal if you don't have the right information. Which means you need to say, really appreciate you asking and would love to give you some ideas of how we could work together. Before we get there, I am going to need some more information from you. I'm going to have to cover a few topics, like what does success look like, and how will we know if we get there, and what concerns do you have, and like why bother doing it, right? Shorthand for the 6 topics of the context discussion. And then you say, so let's set up a time. I need maybe 30, 40 minutes. We'll go through those questions. I'll send them to you in advance. And out of that, once I know better, then my team and I can sit down and we'll sort out a proposal for you. Okay. So you just have to be a little bit insistent that this is the process. It's very rare that someone pushes back on that. It's your process. I mean, they want to work with you. This is your process. You have some expertise. And if they do push back, they're like, no, just give us the price. Just tell us what it is and give us a price. It's not a great prospect, right? Because they're not so interested in getting the best solution. They probably already have someone in mind, and they're just trying to get your pricing. Okay. John, glad that was helpful. If anybody disagrees or has a follow-up question on that, let me know. Otherwise, let's keep going. Deidre, endless bag of questions. Gail is next. Let's see. One scenario that keeps me up is that we have an existing client with whom we've done phenomenal work. The work is very well received. and our contact wants to keep working with us. It's all good. However, our contact is not the decision maker. Oh, and the new CEO doesn't like doesn't like this person. Dang, how can I focus the conversation and move the opportunity forward, knowing that our number one influencer is not well liked? Ow, yikes. Um, Interesting that your contact isn't the decision maker. Okay, step back 1 second, one moment of theory, if you want to call it that. We know the 6 pillars of consulting success. So we know what needs to be in place for you to win a project. Know, like, trust, need, want, and value. Those are the 6 pillars. Like is in there. Like is important. By and large, clients don't want to work with someone they don't like. Okay, so you're in an interesting challenge because your contact isn't liked by the decision maker. You, however, need to maintain your relationship with your contact who's an influencer. So I would suggest in this case that you have an honest conversation with your decision maker. Hopefully he or she knows that they're not liked or appreciated by the decision maker. If not, that would probably be some good feedback. It seems like you guys don't have the best relationship. It seems like you might not see eye to eye, right? So get agreement on that. And then get agreement that you need the decision maker to buy in. And therefore, the best way to achieve your contact's objective, which is to have the engagement go forward, which is to move the proposal forward, is to have you, the consultant, have a direct conversation with the decision maker. Okay. So you don't want to go over your decision maker's head because that would piss them off. Right now, you're jeopardizing the relationship. What you want to do is maintain that relationship and get buy-in that, you know what, since you don't get along with Sally, let me have the conversation with Sally. Why don't you introduce us? And that way you're moving things forward. So maintain that one relationship, get buy-in to then talk with the ultimate decision maker. It's an interesting situation. Okay, excellent. Hopefully that helps. Katrin, follow-on question. An ex-colleague now at another potential client company asked for a discussion on a complex topic. Kept making the topic and scope more complex during the discussion. When I gave a range of ballpark for understanding the budget and timeline she had, she completely balked and cited a number of order of magnitude lower. I made her a step proposal. I'm not sure why. And then where she could get her budget in, declined. Yeah. Okay. So, Katrin, first of all, good for you for having the conversation and for being in a position where you have this opportunity. And you did the absolutely right thing in saying, let's just have a quick conversation around budgets in order of magnitude, because this sort of thing costs whatever it costs. $100,000, whatever. And the person's like, $100,000? I was thinking this was going to cost $3.25. And you say, totally get it. We're just in different worlds. For what you want to achieve, this is what's required. And this is $100,000 realistically. You're saying you've got 10. It's not it just won't work. Unfortunately, I can't help you in this particular situation other than give you some advice right now. Where I think you may have gone wrong is try to again force a proposal and bring your fees way down in this sort of step proposal. Probably doesn't work. If you are that far off, sometimes it's better just to let it go and let the person steep in it for a little bit, and then come back. So that would be my quick suggestion there. And I'll do one more quick one, and then we need to wrap up. We're done with our 15 minutes. Hi, David. Hope you're well. Any thoughts on Catalant or other connectors to find a consulting gig? Yeah, we love staffing firms: Catalant, Umbrex, Graphite, BTG, A Connect, TopTal. I mean, there's hundreds of them, and I think it's very legitimate. I don't think you should rule out any channels for winning business. Right? We're not kind of new business snobs around here. Whatever works, whatever brings in revenue, go for it. There are best practices for winning engagements on those platforms, which we know because we've done work for those platforms directly to figure out what those best practices are. So I would go for it, and then ask next time what the best practices are, because then we can discuss that. Katrin, glad that made sense. Oh my gosh, I can't believe we've already hit our 15 minutes. So thank you for spending some time with us, with me. Really quick note, our next LinkedIn Live is not till January 6th. Okay, we're not going to be on next week or the week after. So put the link Deidre put there in your calendar so you don't miss it. So Monday Live, come back and play Q&A with me on January 6th, and enjoy the holiday season until then. And let's see, what else do we have? Oh yeah, if you're not subscribed, subscribe please, so that you get the articles, including this week's lighter one. And if you're not, haven't been to a solo practice accelerator and your practice is under $1 million, this is the week to sign up, because all the registration will be full this week. If you want to grow your solo practice, join a solo practice accelerator. That program is extraordinary. And that's it. Thank you for being here. I hope you have a fabulous week. Always remember, consulting is not about me. It's not about you. It's about clients. It's about prospects. So give them kindness and give them value. And I will see you in the new year. Take care, everybody.